Hello everybody and welcome back to Pokemon White 2. Last part, Alder gave us some tutorials about the time matchups, and we also got started on a thing called the Metal Rally. And now this time, we are gonna be starting off the very first gym. We're gonna be going through the very first gym in the game, and the gym leader that we're gonna be facing is somebody that we actually know from the prequels. Now, as we go for this gym, now I may as well say a few things. Now, first off, the actual gym music that you're listening to. Now, while it may be the same as we heard from the prequel titles, but, however, I'm starting with the second gym. You are actually going to be hearing a different gym leader music. That you're actually going to be listening to a different music for each individual gym. Yeah, they actually have to go set a piece of music to them. Yeah. Now, this first gym is essentially just a setup for what's to come. Now, it's just that this first gym is gonna be the only time that you're actually gonna be listening to this music. And yep, and as you can see, yep, our very first gym leader is indeed the very same Cheren from the prequel titles. Yeah, now as we saw during the prequel titles, even though Cheren wanted to become a strong trainer, but he didn't exactly know where exactly his journey was going to be taking him. Now, which is why within Black 2 and White 2, now he not only became a gym leader, but he also became a teacher. So then, of course, he could teach the younger generation of how not only how the battles work, but also he can show his students of how to actually battle properly. So yeah, you could definitely see that Cheren has definitely made himself a much more bigger upgrade than what he actually used to do. Yeah. But anyways, everyone, now as we are just going for these set of trainers here. Now, another thing that I probably should have mentioned earlier is that now within the previous Pokemon titles, let's say Platinum, Heart Gold, Soul Silver, and also the prequel titles, of course being Black and White, only several trainers that were more like important characters. Let's say, for example, your rivals, gym leaders, Elite Four, and Champion. Now they would usually get their own little they would actually get their little animations before the just as soon as the battle starts. Now as for the prequel titles. But however, for the prequel titles, yeah, I believe only Cheren, Bianca, and I believe also Anna only had animations. Yeah, none of the other trainers that we saw during the prequel titles actually had animations. But however, as you've been seeing, now especially with the regular trainers, every single trainer that we face off against, within Black 2 and White 2, have their own little animations to them. Yeah. Although, however, that ultimately got somewhat dropped. You know, when we got Generation 6. Well, and I get it was because it was their first mainline titles. It was their first mainline titles, you know, mostly dealing with like 3D, or 3D animations and whatnot. But then they got slightly better when we got to Gen 7. Yeah, and then it was essentially around Gen 7 was when all the trainers were not only in 3D, but we also got to see them on screen as we were fighting the Pokemon. So yeah. But yeah, it was essentially starting with a Black-2 White-2 that every single trainer in the game actually got their own little animations for them. Yeah. But anyways, everyone. Now moving on from that. Now another thing that I want to bring up now is something that you will see once we get once we are done with the champion, once we have defeated the champion. But since we're not gonna see that for a while, now I guess I should go over it now, because I guess I should go over it now. Now as I said before, the key system, as I previously showed off. Now we're obviously are not gonna see that. Now we're obviously not gonna see that right up until the end of the game. But they show off what it will show off is that now depending on the version that you have defeated the champion, will unlock another mode that you can turn on, or that you can actually turn on or off, and that actually being a difficulty setting. Yeah, this was the only mainline title to actually implement difficulty setting. Yeah, something that fans have been pleading for like years now. And I mean years. But however, there is a twist to that. Yeah, the way that you can actually unlock these, yeah, you actually have to beat the champion in order for you to be able to be able to unlock these two modes. And as I said, unlocking these actually are also determined by the version that you're playing. Now, since we are playing a White 2, now the thing that we're going to be unlocking is called Easy. Is actually called Easy. Easy mode. And with an Easy mode, the levels of trainers Pokemon will be lower. And also the AI of the opponents will also be lower too. So for those of you who want a more easier time and don't really want to bother with having to deal with too much trouble, then you can simply just go for that. But if you defeat the champion in Black 2, you unlock Challenge Mode. And of course, with Challenge Mode, the levels of trainers will be higher, starting at level 1 higher, and reaching 5 levels higher at the end. And of course, the AI of the opponents will be higher. And in addition to that, the gym leaders and the Elite Four will not only get at least one extra Pokemon to them, and their other Pokemon will have different movesets, and they will also be holding items too. Now, as we get into our first as we get into the first gym battle with Cheren here, Now, I will not only go over his regular team, but also the one where, but also his challenge team as well. And I'm also going to do the same thing as we get into the rest of the gym leaders and also the Elite Four as well. Now, considering what I just said, that we can only unlock challenge mode within Bull Lag 2. Now you may be wondering, how exactly can we get challenge mode in Y2? Well, that's because now when you have the ability to copy over the things that you've unlocked onto one version, from one version onto like another, by utilizing the Unified Link, you have the ability to send the modes to other players' game, utilizing the game's IR port. And as such, if you have a friend that actually has already unlocked them, they can send it to your game so that you can play with them on. But however, once you have them obtained, if you decide to restart your save file, you will lose access to them again. So meaning that if you want to keep challenge mode on, yeah, you essentially have to keep utilizing Unified Link over and over and over again. Yeah, which is probably why to this day, where the developers haven't really given us the opportunity for us to be able to utilize, they haven't exactly given us the ability to utilize challenge mode within the, they haven't exactly given us the opportunity for us to utilize, they haven't exactly implemented like any of the difficulty setting within the other mainline titles. Yeah, I get it, but at the same time, yeah, but again, I can't understand why they haven't chosen to do that. But anyway, always everyone. Now as we get into our first gym battle here, now I guess I should point this out now. The gym leaders battle music now has also been altered from within these titles. And I gotta say, I would say it is definitely much more better. Now, I would say I prefer this one over the prequel version. Yeah. But anyways, now our first gym battle against the brand new Gym Leader Cheren. Now, first off, the Pokemon that you're really gonna be seeing in this gym battle as well are really just Patras and Lillipups. Yeah, and that's essentially the same Pokemon that Cheren is also utilizing here too. Now first off, his Patrat. Now he has the ability Keen Eye, and he has the moves Bite, Tackle, Detect, and he also move Work Up. Now as for his challenge mode Patrat. Now he has the same moves, same ability. Now he just it's just a level higher. Yeah, and that's it's only just a level higher, and that's it. Now as for his challenge mode team as well, now he would get a third Pokemon, and then actually being a Pidove. Now you may be thinking, since you may have brought over Riolu here, meaning that you're probably going to be in some serious trouble. But, however, you really shouldn't be too worried, is because even though in challenge mode he does put in a Pidove, but however he does not get a single flying type move, so you don't really have to worry about that. Now, I would say for his Pidove, now his Pidove does have the ability Super Luck, and he also has the moves Quick Attack, Clear, and he also has the Work Up. Yeah. Then as for Cheren's actual strongest Pokemon, Lillipup. Now he has the ability Vital Spirit, and he has the moves Work Up, Bite, Tackle, and helping, and also like helping, and also helping hand. And as for his challenge mode, Lillipup. Now the only thing that's different is that not only is he a more higher leveled, only by one level anyway. But his Lillipup in challenge mode will also be holding a short Oranberry. So yeah, that's something that you have to keep in mind of when it comes to especially now when it comes to that Lillipup. Oh yeah, that's right. And I guess I should point this out too. Yeah, this piece of music that usually plays when you are facing off against them are the Gym Leader's very last Pokemon that they actually have on them. Yeah, it has also been it has also been changed slightly from the prequels. It has also been changed from the prequel games too. Now, even though I'm still not exactly the biggest fan of this music, showing up as soon as the Gym Leader's last Pokemon shows up. But, however, I do prefer this version of his music rather than the prequel version too. So yeah, the hype music and also the regular gym music for Black 2 White 2, I would say it is definitely better than what we got within the prequels. Yeah, but anyways, with that said, that was our very first gym battle done. Now, considering that he is a normal type gym leader, yeah, and considering that we now during the prequel titles, we also faced up against a normal gym leader. Yeah, Cheren actually gives you a basic badge. Yeah, now, and I think you can probably guess what exactly happened to the previous gym leader who gave you the basic badge. Yeah, if we actually get into meeting her eventually within this playthrough, yeah, then we will see what exactly has happened to her ever since then. Like during the 2 years, during the 2 years. But anyways, everyone, now with this match, Pokemon to level 20 will of course obey us. And considering that I just mentioned, all of his team members have to move for work up. That is indeed the TM that Cheren gives us. Now, for those of you who don't know how work up works, now it essentially upgrades your attack and special attack powers. Yeah, so it really doesn't matter if you are a physical or a special attacker. With full workup, you can actually do some really good out of it. Yeah. Excuse me. Whew. Okay, I think with that, I think this is about enough explanations. Yeah, for like a while, considering. Yeah. Yeah, ever since I started this playthrough, I've just been going over and over and over about the several things about what's been going on. About what's been going on and, what's different and whatnot, so... I'm actually kind of glad that I get to take a little break from doing that. But don't worry, there is still plenty of shit that I'm still gonna go over, once we actually get to those certain portions. But here's where I'm officially gonna be taking my break from them. For at least for a while anyway. But anyways, as you can see, now as soon as we exit outside, now Bianca's here to kind of congratulate us on our successful victory. You definitely have potential as a trainer. I'm sure of it. This is from me. It's the TM for the move return. Yeah, and now we already get the opposite of frustration, that actually being return. Now, return will get more stronger the more you get along with that Pokemon. Yeah, definitely a much more better improvement than frustration. Yeah, and now here's where Cheren and Bianca actually meet up again after 2 years. Oh wow! Yeah, oh wow, and yeah, oh wow indeed. Oh, what's up? I thought it would be a good idea to register each other in the cross transceiver. But don't you and Bianca already have yours? Oh yeah, I'm thinking he just wants to get us on our. Yeah, I think he just wants to communicate with us too. Yeah, yeah. Not only do I get a phone number from Cheren, and also from Bianca too. Yeah, and she's also registered to Professor Juniper onto ours too. Yep. And here we go. Our first cross transceiver call. A call in a Black 2 and White 2. Now, as you can see this time around, yeah. Now if you saw the prequel titles, yeah, you would see the images for the characters were more like the game versions of the regular images. Like the one we saw from Professor Juniper. But this time around, yeah, they now not only get their regular models, now they not only get a different sort of like image to them, more so like specifically for this title, more so like specifically for these games. But also, I don't fully recall if their eyes did blink during the prequel titles. Yeah, I forget. Yeah, honestly, I forget. Honestly, I forget during the prequel titles where the characters that we talked to actually did have their eyes blink. But as you can see here, yeah, it definitely shows. Yeah, it definitely shows. But anyways, everyone, now Professor Juniper actually has a conversation about how Bianca and how Cheren has been doing now. Ever since he first became a gym leader. Yeah, and also Cheren just said, yeah, if only I have my usual team. Yeah, he's actually talking about the team that he used to have before, but now he's just stuck with utilizing, like a Petrina lollipop. Cheren's the new gym leader. I'm an assistant to Pokemon professor, and Ditto is a new trainer. But we always have a Pokemon by our sides. That's right, Bianca. Our world is a world where we live with Pokemon. Everyone, keep that in mind as you pursue your dreams with your Pokemon. Yeah, obviously, particularly you, Ditto. The Pokédex may be important, but first, enjoy your journey with your Pokemon to your heart's content. Well, alright then, thank you. And hang up the phone. Hey, Ditto. Isn't Professor Juniper cool? Hey, if you talk to her on the cross transceiver, she'll evaluate the completeness of your Pokédex, or tell you a lot about how Pokemon evolve. And you can actually call us too, of course. I'll tell you, now, I'll tell you how well you and your Pokemon are getting along, okay? Bianca makes a good point. I'll tell you what I know about Pokemon abilities and Pokemon type matchups. Yeah. So essentially, they're essentially telling you, for you to make more use out of your cross-trained Seaver, if you didn't exactly use it during your prequel playthroughs, the sequels really wanted to utilize the cross-trained Seaver this time. What was that weak answer? I'm definitely going to take you down. Apparently Hugh thought that was a weak answer from Cheren. Hugh's definitely got issues that he's definitely gonna be dealing with as we get into more of the game. And now also, here's where we, of course, just like in the prequel titles, the Sea Gear. Now, just like in the prequel titles, I am not gonna have the shit turned on, because I'm not really gonna be going over the Sea Gear that much, except for one thing. Now what you can see on the bottom screen, now the Sea Gear actually definitely looks different. Now the Sea Gear definitely looks different, than it was within the prequel titles. Yeah, and that is really, and I mean really, the only thing that I'll be saying about the Sea Gear. Yeah, since I never really mentioned anything about it within the prequel titles, so why should I really say about anything? So why should I really say anything about this one? Okay, everyone, with that said, I think that's just about enough for this one. And so, we shall continue on for the next one. And so, till then, I'll see you guys next time.